Hey, so this is Taylor Major with Major Outdoors, and we're gonna do my spring rods for my bait casters first. So we're gonna go over all my bait casters, what I like and what I don't like. This video might be a little bit longer than they most are, but we'll start with the big rod first. My big Swimbait rod. This is a 6-inch mag draft, which is actually a little bit smaller. I think it's too light for this rod. This is a 7'10" heavy power fast action Bass X rod. I do not believe they make this rod anymore, but I think you can get in the Mojo Bass series at this length and same action. It's too small for a 6-inch. But then I also think, like, I've caught fish on the Rashi Glide on this. I don't know if it's the best bait for that either, because like the mag draft, you still hook set big swim baits. Rashi Glide, you kind of just lean into them. I'm going to throw some bigger mag drafts, like 8s, a little bit bigger on this. It is rated for 1 to 4 ounces, and then right now I have a Lexa Daiwa 300 on it, the power handle. Right now I have 50-pound braid to a 25-pound 4L carbon leader. Okay, big golf clubs out of the way. I did a rod review on this rod. This rod I'm really happy with so far. It is the 6'10" Shimano Adrena Poison, Black Max, 6.6 gear ratio. I have a Lucky Craft crankbait on here, pretty light stuff. 12-pound fluorocarbon is normally what I crank with. Super happy with that rod. So here, this is one of the rods I've had for like since I started bass fishing with. And surprisingly, like I don't even know what it is. It's a Silverhawk Fenwick. You can see that. It is a medium fast action tip rated for 1 1/4 to 5/8. What I like this rod for is anything that's like a 1/4 ounce to 3/8 in there. This is a 3/8 spinnerbait. It's kind of just an all-around rod. I use it for everything. I've thrown light buzz baits on it, spinner baits, little Kitex and stuff. And then right here, I have a Daiwa Tatula CT100, 7:3 to 1 gear ratio. When I'm cranking like moving baits, I'm kind of like in that 6 1 to 1, 6.3 to 1 to 7.3 to 1, something that's fast but not super fast. This rod, 7'4", heavy, fast action tip. Bass X from St. Croix with a Cabela's engineered by Daiwa reel 8 1-to-1. This is called like the Anacrid. They don't make this reel anymore, but I think they make like Daiwa now makes a comparison to this reel. This is like one of the hands down for frogging. It's got a bigger spool, so you can get more line and more distance, and it's got a big drag setting, I think. That's Stogie. So I think you could throw jigs and stuff on this if you're gonna throw like straight fluorocarbon and stuff. But right here you can see I have a 1/2 ounce chatterbait on here. This is I believe the Freedom. It's the football head one with an Excite bait on it. I was just rolling this down some rocks. I've used this rod to Carolina rig. I think it's too fast of action. But this is generally speaking my frogging rod. I think it's, for me, I'm 6'2". I think it's just a titch too long for me to frog all the time. But overall, I think this rod does a lot of things. And for $100, I think it's a good reel. Or a good rod, and the reel was like 150, I think. And I think Daiwa should, if they don't recreate this, tell me down below if they do recreate this. It's an 8-1-1 gear ratio. It's got a deeper spool, and I think it's meant for frogging, but I really like the reel. Okay, so right here we have a G Loomis E6x jig worm rod at 7'5", I think. Yep, 7'5", medium heavy, extra fast tip. And I have it tied up with another Daiwa Tatula SV, 6'3 to 1. You can see I have the new chatterbait, the cross eyes one. I really like these chatterbaits, to be honest. I think they are a good deal. I like the titanium weed guard coming over like brush and stuff. What I like about this rod is I can really feel the wiggle, especially with the braid fluorocarbon. I mean, you can feel when the chatter goes away or they're just grabbing the claws. Then all you do is you slack line and you just hook set. And this thing, these rods, these 7'5" blanks, parabolic bend really well. Like they're a fast tip, extra fast tip, but then I think they parabolic bend into the blank a little bit really well. E6x not as well as the GLX, but for the price of these rods, I think they're worth it. This one's got a full cork grip. Not as big of a fan of that. Okay, right here, I got another 7'5". This is the GLX version. This thing parabolic bends into the blank even better than the EX or the E6X, which I really like. And it's still got the sensitivity there. Right here, I got it paired up with a SLX DC, I believe. Yep, this is DC. And I have 20-pound fluorocarbon on here. Most of my setups are going to be for jig fishing, 20-pound, 17-pound fluorocarbon. If I'm running braid to fluoro, I'll amp it up. So I'll go like 30 to 40-pound braid. I've been kind of testing that. I've been more happy with the 30-pound. It seems to cast farther and I still get the durability. And then I will even go up in fluorocarbon. So if I was throwing like straight 17, I'll throw 20. And then I just normally throw 20 all the time, just because the sensitivity is already there and then the durability. But I just have a jig on here. This is a all pros jig from Terminator, and then I have a little kicker tail on there, so I've been swimming this jig. That's why I have a 6'3" to 1 on this one. Keep the rod tip a little bit higher, reel a little bit slower, get in the depth you want it. Okay. I got here another G Loomis 7'1" medium heavy extra fast tip. And then I got a Corrado DC on here, 7.41 in the gear ratio. I got a football, half-ounce football jig on here with a chunk trailer. Again, 30-pound braid to 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. These rods I've been really happy with. There's only one thing about all these GLXs that I would change, is the hook keeper is on the side of the rod. I wish it was on the bottom of the blank, because there has been times where my line gets underneath there and then like you can't cast it far and you're like, oh, that was weird. I normally cast a little bit farther. So that is one thing. Okay, so this rod I just bought, this is a Imx, which is the first time I've had an Imx. This is an Imx Pro 842C, which is a mag bass rod, which is like their all-around series is how I understand it. And this is a medium fast action tip. It's light. And then I got it paired up with a Daiwa Tula 107.3 to 1. It says it's rated for 1/4 to 5/8. I mean, this tip moves like, like barely, like just weight of my hand. That's me just grabbing the line and it's bending that bad. And I mean, this thing just like it's light. So right now I have a 1/4 ounce VMC with a an X-Zone swammer on there. I think that's a 4-inch. This rod might be a little too light for me personally. I like the hook set. So we're gonna try it, see how many times I break off, and then we're gonna decide if we still want to keep it. I don't have much experience with this rod, so I won't tell you what I think. It's light. Okay. This rod, another 7'5" GLX, gonna have a chatterbait. Then here I got the 13 Fishing Concept Z reel. Been really happy with the reel actually. I think it's a size 200 size reel. Don't get me wrong if I'm wrong. 30-pound braid, 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. I have a spot remover Z-Man chatterbait with the clear prism. And this is a hog farmer trailer. I really like these hog farmer trailers. I wish they made this smaller. Like I think this is a 4-inch or 4.5. I wish they made like a 3.5 or like a true 4. You know, it's got the Kitech ribbing and then it's got a little tail and the thing just goes everywhere. And I really like the action on it. I caught some fish on Hartwell on this thing. And then this reel and this rod, I actually, when I was in OptiCast League last year, there was a tournament on Green Lake in Minnesota. There's a couple Green Lakes, but this is the rock pile one in Wilmer. I used this rod like all day, and I had this spool all the way out, and then I was throwing a 1/2 ounce Kitech, like a 5.8 or something huge. And I was able to bomb that bait, and it was all about covering water and getting that thing in its wafer. But yeah, I really like these rods, these GLXs, the 7'1" medium heavy and the 7'5" medium heavy. It's just an all-around rod. Some people tell me it's a little too sensitive. I like sensitivity. You can always slow yourself down. If you can't, then you should, you know, obviously get a slower action rod. Right here, 7'1", 3/8 all-terrain tackle jig. This is the jig I'll probably have tied on all year long. I got a little Zoom Z-Craw on here. You know, it's slim. It looks good. You know, it's watermelon reddish. Same thing, 30-pound braid, 20-pound fluorocarbon leader, 7'1", Shimano DC on here. This is the combo I like. I throw this rod all year. I mean, this will be on my deck all year. It's just that staple rod that you feel comfortable with. Okay. We'll go to this rod. This is my jerkbait / spook rod. This is a St. Croix Bass X rod. It is a 6'8" medium power extra fast tip. You can see I have a little jerkbait on here. I think this is the, oh god, a Revenge. Comment below if you know what jerkbait is. The one with the red eyes. Good jerkbait, I don't remember. And then I have a Corrado 8 2-to-1. Again, I use this rod for two things, throwing jerkbaits and spooks. It is rated for 1/4 to 5/8. I mean, it's got a really tight tip, so it's really nice because you don't have to move a lot of the rod to get the thing to work. I like this more for spooks and heavier action spooks because I feel like the jerkbait's like too hard to get distance on. So sometimes I'll throw a jerkbait on spinning gear, which I need to get a spinning gear set up for a jerkbait because I don't have one yet. But this is what I've been using for my jerkbait and spooks. I think this will be a great spook rod after I'm done with it. So I'll probably have this in my ratio. And then the reason I have a higher gear ratio on this one is because I like to pick up line really quick. Okay. And then, this is the last rod I have set up, like fully. This is the E6x. It is a crankbait rod, and it's meant for wiggle warts, okay? And I'm gonna do a rod review on this one, just like that other cranking rod. So it's a medium heavy E6x 845C CR or CBR mod fast action tip, medium heavy at 7 foot. And it's literally got, I don't know if you guys can see that. That's a wiggle wart. Okay, this rod, I like it, but I don't at the same time. It throws wiggle warts really well. Right now I have braided fluorocarbon on here because I was trying to get distance and I wanted to try it out. This is a cheap Bass Pro Shop Pro qualifier reel. They're like 99 bucks on sale. They're like 75 bucks. Right now I have a DT6 on here. This rod I have mixed feelings about. Throws wiggle warts really well. That's it. It's too heavy for a DT6, and then it's too light for a DT10. So you need, and then I want to try some, and then we're trying the Storm ones in here, and I can't cast the Storm ones very well, so I want to try some of like the other wiggle warts that are a little bit heavier, maybe at that, you know, 1/2 ounce range, because this thing is rated for 3/8 to 1 ounce. So, and I just felt like the DT10 was just so heavy on the rod. One of my buddies, Keegan, you see him in a couple of the videos or my posts online, Major Outdoors. He's got a Vendetta Mod Fast, one of the new ones that's a medium heavy, and I think it's like a 7'3" or something. And he had a DT10 on there, and that just felt right. I mean, that rod felt right for that bait. So I just got to get this thing dialed in with the right baits. I also don't love how short the handle is. I like to be able to, like, I get it, you get more control with the shorter handle, but I'm not a small guy. So, I mean, not a big guy, but like I like longer handles so I can bomb cast a little bit farther. Okay, and then I just picked these, some of these rods I've had in my arsenal, some of them I haven't. I just got some Dobbins Furies rods. This is the FR704, so that's a 7 foot heavy action fast tip. Rated between 1/4 and 1 ounce. You know, it's a heavy rod, but compared to the Bass X, okay, I'll show you guys in a second. I want to throw some spinner baits because this thing, like, is, for being a heavy, it's pretty light, I'd say, which I like. So I'm gonna try these out. I do like how they're a rod exposed blank. I'm gonna get into this later because I'm gonna do like a $100 rod and reel combination, which ones I've been using, which ones I've found the best. So then I also got a FR 734, which is a 7'3" for heavy action, fast action tip, and that is roughly the same as the Bass X, because the Bass X is a 7 foot heavy medium action. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but the rod blanks are substantially different. And on their website, they say this is a mag heavy. So I understand that as it's between a medium heavy and heavy, that little split area. So I think this rod might be, I might throw some lighter frogs. I normally only throw the Spro on this one because this is the only one I can cast it on. And the Booyah ones are too light for this rod. So I wonder if the Booyah ones would throw really well on this, because this thing's got a little bit lighter of a tip. You know, maybe you can whip them a little bit farther. And then again, like I said earlier, the 7'4" I think is just a titch long for my working style. So I wonder if this will fit that category or that 7 foot. I think the 7 foot will be a little short, but I think the 7'3" or 7'2" might be the deal. So I'm gonna get back to those later. Okay, I picked these up on sale. They're the combo piece, the SLX with the SLX reel. This is the 8-2-to-1 normal SLX, and this is the 7 foot medium heavy fast action tip. I've heard really good things about these rods. I think I got these for 130 bucks a piece on sale on some websites as the combo piece. I'm gonna try these things out. I'm gonna throw Texas rig, spinnerbait, chatterbaits, everything on them. I'm gonna get reviews back on these things. I mean, everyone's balling on a budget. It doesn't matter if you have tons of money or not that much money. You know, if it's a good rod, and I've only heard good things about these things. So I really want to give these a shot. I think they'll make really good, like, 3/8 heavier spinnerbait rods. But I'm really excited to try these things out. Okay. Then I got another one. I bought two. This one came with, one I got the 8-2 to gear ratio one, and one I got the 6-3 to gear one ratio. This one's probably going to be the one I'm cranking with or throwing moving baits, and the other one I'll throw probably jigs. Okay. This rod is the famed E6x Spinnerbait Rod that they brought back. It's a medium 6'9", 3/8 to ½ ounce, and it's only meant to throw spinnerbaits. I've thrown chatterbaits on it. It works fine. It's a medium. And the one thing I found surprising is the blank is totally different from that other medium I bought. This same thing, extra fast tip, thing really tight. Again, I think this is too light. I'm gonna give this rod another shot because compared to the 7 foot medium extra fast tip, this thing's way like closer to medium heavy. And this thing is like the same thing as that Fenwick rod, where it says it's a medium, but the blank size is more of a medium heavy. It's like right underneath a medium heavy. So it's not a medium heavy, but I would say it's like a mag medium. So right between medium heavy and medium, it's that blank spot right there. This thing is really nice for tucking spinnerbaits into tight cover, which I like. But sometimes I don't feel like I have enough backbone with this. So I'm going to give this thing another shot. I need to pick up a reel. I was throwing the SLX DC, the 6-3-to-1 on here. I might pick up another one if I'm skipping the spinnerbaits and chatterbaits under trees and stuff. And then this rod, this thing's done everything. It's an IM8 tourney trail from Cabela's. It is rated for 1/4 ounce to 3/4. I think this is a medium heavy. It does not say. And then it's kind of got like a interesting tip. It's not a fast tip, but it's not a slow tip. So it's like, you can kind of see this. It kind of, you know, it's like a mod fast. I've thrown kind of everything on this. It's got a really like whippy tip. So I've thrown spinnerbaits on it. I've thrown crankbaits on it. The thing is it does so many things. I don't know what to like really finish with. Like, I don't know if this is the perfect rod for anything I do. So I'll still have this rod always. I'm gonna get a reel on it eventually, but these are all the rods I have. All the casting rods I have. I'll have a spinning video out soon. Thank you guys so much for watching Major Outdoors. Please like and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for your support. These are my rods that I'm running for the 2021 season. I can't wait to see you guys on the water this year.